Are you Shannon
How's that?
Martin's?
We can hear you.
Is that your relative?
Ready?
Yep.
Shannon.
Good evening and
manager?
welcome to the Manteno Village Board meeting for Monday, June 1st, 2020. I'd like to call the meeting to order and if you could all please rise for the pledge of allegiance.
Can you hear it?
Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, please.
Chris?
Here.
Martin,
Hang on.
Here.
Dole, here, Crockett,
Very
Geske,
deep.
Here.
Your voice has gotten deeper.
Phillips,
Here.
We have a quorum. We're having some, get some people on Zoom that are coming through loud and clear, it sounds like.
Can you hear me?
No.
Yes.
All right, there we go.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Tell him we can hear him every time he talks.
You got a very deep voice, Chris.
Beginning with the approval of the minutes, we have our board minutes from May 18th of 2020 that are included in the packet, and hopefully everyone has had the opportunity to review them. Is there any changes, additions, deletions, corrections? Seeing none, I would accept a motion to waive the reading of the minutes and approve them as presented by the clerk.
So moved.
Motion by Martin,
second.
second by Dole, roll call.
Martin,
Yes.
Dole,
Yes.
Boyce,
Yes.
Geske,
Yes.
Phillips.
Yes.
Motion carries. Public participation, has anyone contacted us via the internet for any public comment?
No, we have Michael Kanecar, the attorney, and Jeff Agan, the village engineer, are the only two on Zoom right now.
Okay. Village President's report. Tonight, under my Village President's report, I have one
Was it Tony?
ordinance.
You're unmuted, I hope.
You might want to tell Mike that you can hear everything he's saying.
Yeah, I've got you muted, Mike.
We have one ordinance under the Village President's report. As you know, the restaurants, bars, businesses were able
How's that?
to open up over the course of the last
Can you hear
weekend.
me? Look, why don't you, can you say something like,
Yeah,
I tell him to mute his microphone because we can hear everything he's saying.
I had
I can
him.
hear you okay.
Okay. We've got you muted, Mike. We've got you muted.
Okay?
You do?
I think so.
Not yet, apparently.
In order for those businesses to operate outside, to be able to do it over the weekend, I issued an executive order that was prepared by the village attorney that covered us for this last weekend. But, tonight, with our
It's like the
first...
feed from the board meeting isn't coming through right.
right, okay.
It's not just you.
All right, well, at least this.
He's never talked this much ever during a regular meeting.
Chris with a really deep voice, right?
Can you tell him to mute his
I can't
mic?
even make out, it's really, really deep, I can't even make out what they're saying.
Pull the plug. Hello? Just close out of it. Just text him.
Mike needs his wife to come in and run that for him. We okay?
Bring Joe back.
Try a different setting.
So as I was saying, the executive order covered the businesses.
Press it down.
To operate this weekend. You have his phone? You
I'll just show.
you might want to call him and tell him we can hear every time he's saying anything. Or that he's coming over the loudspeaker.
I'm unmuted.
Heck.
Jeff, can you hear me now?
Yep.
Maybe just unplug it until.
Yeah.
All right, we'll try it again here. The executive order covered the weekend for all the businesses to open up. And as a result of that, they were all able to get the tables and chairs and open up for outdoor seating. But now that we're having our first meeting, we have to pass an ordinance in order to authorize all the restaurants and bars to be able to continue to operate that way during the Phase 3 of the Restore Illinois plan. So on tonight's agenda, we have Ordinance 2001, which is an ordinance of the Village of Manteno, Kankakee County, Illinois, authorizing restaurants, bars, and other food, beverage establishments to resume operation in the outdoor seating area during Phase 3 of the Restore Illinois plan. We have a number of bars and restaurants who do have outdoor seating, and they have licenses for that. But this is for all the other ones that are just doing this as on a temporary basis during the the Phase 3 of the Restore Illinois plan, and that did not have the original license. Now, we have had all those businesses come in and provide insurance to us, and I think as most of you saw or read, we also offered tables and chairs that the village had and put barricades up in order to give them the opportunity to open up their outdoor seating. So, is there any questions on Ordinance 2001? This will be in existence, and we'll have a sunset on it when the governor changes the rules for the outdoor seating. Seeing nothing else, seeing no questions, move on to Village Administrator's report. Mr. LaRock, you have stuff to say?
Yeah, just have one item tonight. We've been getting several calls at Village Hall about the jumping pillow and the splash pad and the fountain. Obviously, with the restrictions the state has put on us, we have no immediate plans of opening that until it becomes safe to do so. So it's unfortunate. I think everybody was obviously looking forward to that, but until the rules change, they'll remain dormant. We do have them all ready to go if we ever get that order, but for now, to keep everyone safe, they're going to be remaining closed.
Yeah, if people go by and they see that we have put the coverings, the blue coverings over the top of the jump pillow, they are working on the splash or the fountain to get that operational, and we might even be testing it out just to make sure that everything's working. But just because we're doing that, it's not going to be going on until we get the clearance from the state. So we suspect that it's going to be probably the whole month of June. We'll see what what happens in the end of June and what the state decides. But we will be working on all that and making sure that the day that we get the clearance, we can go ahead and flip the switch and get all those things going. Anything else, Mr. LaRock?
That's all I have this evening.
Committee reports, Public Works and Utilities, Mr. Boyce.
I have no items tonight. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Mr. Boyce, Properties and Recreation, Mr. Martin.
I have nothing tonight, Mr. Mayor.
Public Safety and Health, Mrs. Dole.
I have no action items on the agenda either. My next public safety meeting is June 10th at 7 a.m. at the Village Hall. I assume it'll be the boardroom again, correct? So, wanted to give a little some tips or whatever. Earlier today, the police department escorted a peaceful demonstration through the village, walking down Route 50 to a rally in Bradley. To date, the village has had no incidents of damage or looting. Yesterday, we were notified of potential looters in the area. Out of an abundance of caution, businesses in the village closed for the evening. Fortunately, Manteno experienced no issues with looters. We have received no information that Manteno is a target of any violence or demonstrations. The police department will continue to post updates on Facebook and inform the public of any potential issues brought to our attention. And that's all I have.
Thank you, Mrs. Dole. Planning and Zoning, Mr. Crockett is not here tonight. He has the bulk of the agenda. Mrs. Dole, since you are also on that committee, you want to go ahead and take his agenda?
Sure. We'll start with Ordinance 20-02. An ordinance granting a special use permit from Title IX, Zoning, Chapter 10, Specialty Districts, Article Number C-3-2B, Automotive Repair, in FB1 zoning district for the property located at 360 South Locust Street in Manteno. Mr. Basham purchased the former Bumper to Bumper auto parts store and has a tenant who would like to operate a dentless repair shop in that building. Zoning requires a special use be approved to conduct that type of business. The Planning Commission held a public hearing on May 28th and is recommending approval of the request. Is Mr. Basham here, or is he?
He is not.
He is not here. So any questions?
Is there any questions regarding this? This is a business that he was operating in a different location on Route 50 and now he's moving it to a bigger facility. So it's a business that's really already been operational on Route 50 and just changing locations, so therefore he had to go through this process.
That is correct.
Second one, ordinance 20-03, an ordinance granting a variance from Title 9 zoning, Chapter 7, R2, 2 Family, Article C-8, site and structures for the property located at 403 Hesburgh Drive, Manteno, Illinois, in the R2 residential zoning district. As part of a potential reconfiguration of the existing duplex lots on Hesburgh Drive, it was determined that one existing duplex was built encroaching on the sideline setback. This ordinance is a corrective measure to formally acknowledge the mistake and allow the duplex to continue as a legally non-conforming structure. The Planning Commission held a public hearing on May 28th and is recommending approval of the request. Is Mr. or is Harlan?
It's not this evening.
Harlan isn't here yet? Okay, all right. Any other questions on that one?
Yeah, this is more of a housekeeping duty for us in order to make the lots that are currently there. This doesn't, this only cleans up some clerical mistakes that were made in the past. And, it doesn't change anything that's going on over there at all, other than making everything conforming.
Okay. Next one is ordinance 20-04. An ordinance granting a special use permit to allow the installation of a drive-up window at property owned by 24 West 1st Street LLC and located at 24 West 1st Street, Manteno, Illinois. As part of the remodeling expansion of the Main Street Pharmacy, the owner is requesting a special use permit to allow for a drive-up window to better serve his customers. The window is located on the alley side of the building where traffic could be less of an issue. The Planning Commission held a public hearing on May 28th and is recommending approval of the request. Is Mr. Bush here?
The applicant is here if you have any questions regarding that.
Again, this, we met with Mr. Bush prior to his designing and planning this building, and there was a couple different ways that we looked at the possibility of creating a drive-up window. This was actually done at the village's request to put it at this location, because it's similar to the one that is functional over at CVS Pharmacy and operates on the alley. This would be a similar concept where the curbs are being redone and people will be able to pull in and go to the drive-up window and then pull off into the alley. It's not a perfect ideal situation because it is going to be exiting into the alley, but that alley, while it's busy, it's not an actual busy thoroughfare street. So we thought that this was going to be the preferable way to do it, as opposed to putting it in a different spot in the building and trying to get easements from other neighbors for cars going around the east side of the building. So Mr. Bush actually reconfigured this after we discussed it with him, and he agreed that he thought this would be the best route. The Planning Commission looked at it; they agreed that to the request, and so tonight's approval is just to give him the authority to go ahead and to do this. And this also coincides with the reconstruction that we're doing over in front of the pharmacy. We've already started that process of taking out the curbs, so there'll be new curb cuts there. There's a fire hydrant that has to get moved, and it'll look a lot more suitable once all the new construction is done and you can see where the curbs are. It'll make a lot more sense for people pulling into along the west side of that building. I don't know if anybody has any questions for Mr. Bush at all. If not, go ahead.
And the last one is ordinance 20-05. An ordinance granting variances from Title 9 zoning, Chapter 13, signs, article number 14D1, premises signs, number allowed, and 14D2, maximum area allowed in C1 zoning for the property located at 24 West 1st Street in Manteno, Illinois. Main Street Pharmacy is remodeling and expanding their business and feels additional signage is needed to better serve their business. This ordinance allows for the additional number and overall allowable square footage of signage in the C2 district. The Planning Commission held a public hearing on May 28th and is recommending approval of the request. Is there any questions on this one?
Well, there's a few comments. This is the expansion of the building, and because of the situation and where that building sits, it's really visible from three different sides, actually from all four sides if you look to count the alley too. But we are allowing him to put a couple LED signs, one on the east and one on the west, because they are, plainly visible. He's also agreed that, we could use, the chamber and that the village could use those signs for informational purposes and village events and those type of things, besides him, using them for advertising for his business. The signs that he did propose were reasonable size, and the planning commission looked at it, and because of the layout and the way the building sits, we thought that that it was appropriate. Also, there's a couple directional signs that are included here to let people know exactly where the drive-up window is and how to get into the drive-up window. So, as you know, the village is very strict on its signage. And we don't allow just a lot of signs for a lot of different places, but when it comes to things that we feel are necessary in order for the business to be functional, this is the process that has to be gone through, and he's agreed to go through it and got it approved by the planning commission.
There's one more item also.
Right. Ordinance 2006, an ordinance granting a variance from Title 9 zoning, Chapter 11, non-conforming building and structures, Article number 2-A, additions and enlargements, for the property located at 11 South Main Street in Manteno, Illinois, in the C1 Commercial Zoning District. Are there any questions about this? I didn't have the write-up on
This
that one,
applicant is also here, if you guys have any questions.
Is Mr. Miller? Any questions?
Again, this is Chad Miller wanting to just put a small addition onto his building, that the planning commission heard the evidence and agreed to that also. Any questions regarding that?
With that being said, Tuesday, June 23rd at 7 a.m. Is the next Planning and Zoning Committee meeting, and June 9th at 6 p.m. at the Village Board Room. Is there going to be an agenda for that meeting?
Yes, the items that were discussed last meeting, a couple got continued.
Okay. All right. And that's all Todd has.
Thank you, Mr. Dole. Finance, Mr. Geske.
Thank you, Mayor. I have the payment of bills amount of $95,463.39, which includes TIF bills out of TIF number 1 of $67,704.03. Bills authorized and paid between board cycle are $40,538.19. And our next Finance Committee meeting is scheduled for June 10th at 7 a.m.
Thank you, Mr. Geske. General Government, Mr. Phillips.
I have nothing on the agenda tonight, Mayor.
Okay. So the items that we'll be voting on tonight on the consent agenda are as follows. Under old business, we have nothing. Under new business, we have Ordinance 2001, which is an ordinance of the Village of Manteno, Kankakee County, Illinois, authorizing restaurants, bars, and other food/beverage establishments to resume operations in outdoor seating areas during Phase 3 of the Restore Illinois Plan. Item number 2 is Ordinance 2002, an ordinance granting a special use permit from Title 9 zoning, Chapter 10, Specialty Districts, Article number C-3-2B, Automotive Repair, and FB1 zoning district for the property located at 360 South Locust, Manteno, Illinois. Item number 3 is Ordinance 2003, an ordinance granting a variance from Title 9 zoning, Chapter 7, R2, 2-family, Article C-8, site and structure for the property located at 403 Hesburgh Drive, Manteno, in the R2 residential zoning district. Item number 4 is Ordinance 2004, an ordinance granting a special use permit to allow for installation of a drive-up window at the property owned by 24 West 1st Street LLC and located at 24 West 1st Street, Manteno, Illinois. Item number 5 is Ordinance 2005, an ordinance granting variances from Title 9 zoning, Chapter 13 signs, Article number 14D1 premises signs, number allowed, and 14D2 maximum area allowed in C1 zoning for the property located at 24 West 1st Street, Manteno, Illinois. Item number 6 is Ordinance 2006, an ordinance granting a variance from Title 9 zoning, Chapter 11 non-conforming building and structures, Article 2A, additions and enlargements, for for the property located at 11 South Main Street, Manteno, Illinois, in the C1 Commercial Zoning District. And the payment of the bills, we have a motion to approve the payment of the bills in the amount of $95,463.39, of which tip 1 bills are $67,704.03. Are there any items on the consent agenda that need to be voted on individually? Seeing none, I would accept the motion to take a single roll call vote on the question of passage of the agenda items as read.
I made the motion.
Motion by Phillips,
Second?
second by Dole. Roll call.
Phillips?
Yes.
Dole?
Yes.
Boyce?
Yes.
Martin?
Yes.
Geske?
Yes.
Motion carries. I accept the motion to approve by unanimous vote the ordinances, resolutions, motions, and orders contained in the consent agenda as read.
I'll make the
Motion by
motion.
Martin,
Second.
Second.
second by Boyce. Roll call.
Martin?
Yes.
Boyce?
Yes.
Dole?
Yes.
Geske?
Yes.
Phillips?
Yes.
Motion carries. Comments? Do you have anything tonight you'd like to talk about, Mr. Boyce?
The only thing is with the pharmacy, it's great working with great people with them. I mean, just going back and forth with the different designs. It's not like we sit here and just like approve things. The designs went back and forth, and we told them our concerns, and they came back. I mean, it just shows you how great we work together with our businesses.
Right, I mean, and we talked at a couple of the different committee meetings that we had, the original design that was submitted. Well, we made some suggestions and went back to them, and the owner was more than happy to, go ahead and do some changes, in which, he made a lot of additions, but then he did a lot of changing with windows and brick and siding and some of the stuff too, to make it look like a lot different building that's going to end, it's going to end up than what it was originally. So you're right. I mean, there's a little give and take on both sides, but I think it's going to turn out to be a great addition for the downtown here.
Wow, it's going to be beautiful. Very nice. That's all I got.
Mr. Martin,
Nothing.
Mrs. Dole.
No, I just want to wave to my family that I haven't seen firsthand for a while, so they're watching, so that's all.
Mr. Geske.
I'd just like to thank our police for doing a fine job and responding when called yesterday, making sure nothing happened and protecting our village, and also to the protesters who did demonstrate for being peaceful. So it's win-win all the way around.
So,
I agree with Joel there.
yeah, and the couple things this weekend, we had opened up allowed the bars and restaurants to open up. There was a lot of people milling around Friday, and at the different restaurants that were opened up on Main Street, and they had the outdoor seating. It was great to see people out and patronizing the businesses and spending money again, and the businesses actually were more than anxious to get out there and to do what they could do to open up and become viable businesses again. So please support the restaurants, bars, all the businesses in town as much as we can, and keep the money locally and try to make sure that we support them. Like I say, because they're the lifeblood of the community, and we want to we don't want to see any of them suffer any more than what they already have. And that's why when Sarah contacted all of the different businesses about reopening, we tried to make sure that we had a certain amount of tables and chairs, and Public Works spent time the last couple of days last week delivering tables and chairs and barricades, and we'll continue to work with them hand in hand, because the town is a lot better off when we've got everybody up and operational and doing good, and we certainly appreciate all the citizens that are supporting the businesses that are open and trying to keep them going. I have nothing further. I would accept the motion to adjourn.
I'll make that motion.
Motion by Dole,
Second.
second by Boyce. Roll call.
Dole?
Yes.
Boyce?
Yes.
Martin?
Yes.
Geske?
Yes.
Phillips?
Yes.
Motion carries. Thank you very much for coming, for watching.
So, suffrage ready, we should come over? So anyway, do we determine that Shannon is married?